Hi, this is Mayor David Ginch. I want to bring you up to date at what occurred at our last City Council meeting. First off, I want to say thanks to Vice Mayor Henderson. As most of you know, we all have full-time jobs, and my job had me out of town, so I'm grateful that Vice Mayor Henderson was able to step up and run the meeting for us. It was a good meeting to have him there. The first thing we did is recognized our Downtown Association, Sarah Lee Thomas, along with Sue Weil. Both of them have served in that association for over 30 years. They have been doing things that you may not know about, but the downtown has been responsible for the Christmas parade, which is one of the largest here in Sussex County, the Halloween parade, but probably more important to me is they really encourage downtown businesses to get involved. And they have done a fabulous job. It was great to recognize them last night. Senator Hansen came down, along with Senator Bryant Richardson and Representative Short, along with our Sussex County President. Mike Vincent was here to recognize them. So always nice to recognize volunteers who step up and do so much in our community. We did have a public hearing to discuss dividing a lot up for residential housing, and that got approved last night. Eric Penner was here to go over the real estate tax appeals that were presented a few meetings ago, maybe 2 meetings ago. Those came back and were approved last night as well. Next, we had a developer come through that was asking for some relief on some fees on their development as they're getting ready to start in Ross Business Park. They had asked for one thing, and the council approved another on tap fees and really development fees going forward as that project comes out. We also discussed the lease agreement on a tower that sits on the property right behind the Seaford Police Station. It's been a long-term lease agreement that the city has had with the state. That was renewed and discussed last night as well. The Curiosity Shop, we have a lease agreement on that property there as well. They're changing the name and some administrative things needed to be changed, so that lease agreement was approved. The election committee, we had a person that moved out of town, so we needed to appoint someone to the election committee. You may not know this, but people who run those elections are volunteers. They get appointed by the city council for a term. And we always appreciate people willing to step up and be a part of the election process. So Sharon Drewgrass was approved and appointed for a 1-year term and will serve at this year's city elections. And last on the agenda was the bids for Kiwanis Memorial Park, the renovations that we talked about maybe a meeting or two ago. Representative Short came up with some ideas to replace flagpoles, but really expand the whole where we represent the people that have passed serving our country that are from Seaford. That's going to wrap around the backside with additional lighting. It's going to be very respectful. It's going to be very nice. The push was to get this done before Memorial Day. So those renovations got approved last night, so we're hoping that that can get done in that time. We have lots of things coming up that I want to read through to make sure you're aware of. First off, City Hall will be closed Good Friday. That's this Friday, March 29th. We are planning a bus trip to Washington, D.C. on April 6th, and people would contact Katie Hickey to sign that up. We'll put her contact information here for Parks and Rec, so if you would like to be a part of that. April 6th, leaving at 9 a.m. Lighted Up Blue for Autism Awareness will be held at Gateway Park Monday, April 15th at 6:30. That's always a great event. If you can come out and show your support for that, that would be appreciated. Believe it or not, Nanticoke Little League opening day, May 4th. That's Saturday at 9 a.m. at Williams Pond Park. That'll be happening. And then, important to all of us, citywide cleanup is that week is May 13th through the 17th. You'll hear more information on that as we get closer as to what streets they'll be rolling out on what days. And finally, elections are coming up. Saturday, April 20th from 7 to 3. We hope you'll come out and vote. If you can't make it on that Saturday, please stop by City Hall and vote absentee. We'd like everybody to participate. If for any reason you have questions on that, please call the city. We'll be glad to help. As always, if you have any questions about what's going on in your city, please reach out to us. We would love to answer them. Thank you so much and have a great day.